he's not fighting against. Now, is this something that you also see in your, why am I using all the wrong words? I was just going to say encounter, I'm sorry. In all your, interactions with, say, death row prisoners, for instance. I'm not talking about, say, when you said 4th stage cancer patients. That's different. In some sense, you don't have control over disease. Yeah, you don't have a choice. But here, there is a choice. And what do you see? And this is something that I'd like to ask you also, after Dr. Guru Prasad answers, about what is it that you think happens to a person who encounters death on a daily basis? For you as from the outside, for you from the inside. And it's not, this is something I would ask a doctor too, so it's not about what you would do.
Exactly as Mr. Sreedhar said, I must recount an incident which happened in my life. Like him, I get up very early in the morning and go for a morning walk. Those days, I went for a morning walk near the Bangalore East railway station, and at that time there was a slaughterhouse. I saw a lorry coming with a lot of sheep. They were going there for slaughter. I had never seen an animal being slaughtered at all. So I went inside the slaughterhouse. And then I saw the place where the animals were being slaughtered. One lamb was being led to the slaughtering place. And then as it was being led there, it started bleating. Literally, I thought the lamb was crying. And then just as it approached, somebody, he had a bucket of water, he put the water on the lamb. And then he took the lamb to the place where the lamb was being slaughtered. Suddenly it became silent. I had then seen a movie called Silence of the Lambs. I thought, the lambs become silent when they are almost about to face their death. And then it was totally silent and he killed in one shot. Then when I read this book, I thought of Sona and I thought of that lamb. Maybe he knows that it is inevitable, I can't do anything about it. And then he keeps on asking. In fact, the twist in the story I thought Sona was about to die, but suddenly something happens to the Don in Mangalore. He meets with an accident and the death is postponed by 1 day or maybe 2 days. And then he is very much worried as to why this death is postponed. This I saw in the lamb, but during my interactions with the death row prisoners, Mr. Umesh Reddy, for example, he said that he is not going to die. I am not going to die at all. I am going to live. Probably Nirbhaya killers also feel the same way, despite what happened today. They may be also feeling the same way, because normally most of the convicts whom I met, they never accepted that they have committed the crime for which they have been convicted, and two, they have a lot of hope that they are not going to die. But in this book, Sona has absolutely no hope. In fact, he invites death. He asks why I am not being killed. So this is probably my answer. I have not seen in real life any convict, any criminal accepting death as a punishment. So very, maybe out of 100 people whom I have interviewed, only one person accepted his guilt and said, I am prepared to die. Otherwise, none is prepared to die. I think Mr. Sreedhar will answer separately.
Sona, though I wrote about my days in the underworld, then I took up this subject of Sona because the voice was haunting me. When he was killed, he was younger to me by, say, 1 or 2 years. Smarter than me, very smart. And he was associated with the top names in the underworld, with Dawood Ibrahim, Sharat Shetty, Chota Rajan, top names. And he was wearing a earring, looking very smart. beauty is, or the ugly part is, I told my boss, who was then my boss, that we will finish off here only in Bangalore. Anyway, we are not killing him in the public place. We will burn off the body somewhere. We'll send it with other boys. We'll finish him. Sir, you will be surprised. A police officer advised Muttaprai not to do it in Bangalore. He said, Commissioner is changed. He is watching your troop. He has no sympathy for you. Suppose if it comes out, he will be in greater trouble. Take him out of Bangalore, even a rural area also, Bangalore district. That was the reason we took him to Sakleshpur. I've seen a great movie, Silence of the Lambs, and I know about lambs. But Sona was not like a lamb. Till the last moment, without any exaggeration, I recalled it. He was a warrior. Warrior of the first order. Several things were not said there. When we were just discussing, boys were moving around. He said, do you think these boys are match for me? I have worked with the Sautia. It was a very, very big name. Biggest than Dawood Ibrahim in the Indian underworld. Sautia, he was killed in Dubai later. I worked with Sautia. I worked with Subhash Singh Thakur. Now he is in UP jail for life. Such people, these people are no match for me. Then I was thinking inside me, what is this nonsense? He is caught. He is here. Of course, we were behaving as if he does not know. Muttaprai was telling, I told him that we will be here for 2 days, then he can go back to Mumbai. But the moment he was taken, he understood. They are just playing a game. That they are going to kill me. He said, all these people are no match for me. I was involved with those big names. And he used to call me Sreedhar. Sreedhar, anyway I know. This is the end. I will not try anything. I want to talk to you about it. That's why I named it Gita. Gita is a metaphor too. He was almost like a Krishna advising me. Again and again he said, even in the book I recorded it, he said, you are not fit for this underworld. This is a very, very cold field, but you are full of emotions. Emotions encased in that body, totally emotions and feelings. Why did you come? Then I said, I don't. Because I knew that by talking to him the way I am talking to you, I knew that he won't be existing tomorrow. Why should I tell my story to this man who is not going to be annihilated tomorrow morning? I did not even tell. I just said it was not planned. My coming into the underworld, it is because of incidents. It was not intentional. He said, I entered into it with intentions. And he was thinking that he was so much deeply in love with that girl. He was it is a fact in real life too. He was worried about only that girl. He knew that if he survived, that girl would be butchered by the underworld as well as by the police. Underworld, because to know whereabouts of Sona. Police again, to know about where Sona is. So he decided that he should sacrifice. Because that girl's love for him meant much more than his life. He started narrating it. And in the end, people ask me, did you really phone? Sometimes, after writing it, after this book has come out, I called the girl. I asked Bachchan again and again, did we call that girl? He said, have you forgotten? This is the place where we went. From there you called. You had the number on your hand. Because I called. I said, Sona narrated a dream to me. She said, I was seeing bad dreams since 2 days. I knew. And she was, of course, crying. The only thing, artistic freedom I took was, I said it was the same dream. But it was a bad dreams. Even he saw the dream where he said goodbye to her. And she said she was having bad dreams. And while after writing Edagarike, not doing Edagarike, while filming Edagarike, I tried to contact that lady, that girl. Somehow I decided she may be living with some other person, with children. I should not disturb her. Just for the sake of profit to my movie, get publicity to my movie. I just kept it out of my mind. It really happened. He really behaved like a warrior, and the voice was haunting me every night. So I decided to immortalize him in the writing. I did not know at that time that it would be made into a film. It would be translated to other languages, and Pratibha is telling already people from other countries are asking for the translation. Even that Netflix people say one person had come from Paris only to discuss about this book today morning, about Netflix series, and he said, I will see to it, it will be immediately get translated to French. It is such a great work. They were saying, I did not know anything about, I did not think of these things at that time. I just wanted to expel what was inside my heart, my mind, my being. And probably he taught me. He did not motivate me to come out of the underworld, but his voice was ringing in me. You are not fit for this world. You are not fit for Sreedhar, you are not fit for this world. You are not fit for this world. That's why I am expressing myself. Probably subconsciously it worked a lot inside me, and that made me write this book.
Before we open the floor for questions, I have a question to ask two of you. I mean, taking a cue from what you said, where Sona says, no, Sreedhar, you are not fit for this world. Do you think that criminals or people with a criminal streak of mind, do you think they're born or do you think they're made? It's a question that's for you also, Dr. Guruprasad.
Say, I never glorified the gangsters in my films and in my works. In fact, I worked very hard to demystify them, to demystify them. Most of the best people I came across in life, it was from the underworld. Because deep down, surface level, every human being is same. Deep down, the criminal knows that the society has rejected him. And also at some point, he starts believing it. So to come out of it, he tries to be extra human, extra good. So they are not made. But the only area, only crime even today, I discuss with Bachchan and others, even police officers, everybody. The only crime which we cannot understand is rape. People don't know, only we know. Even in the jails, they were brutally worked upon by police as well as inmates. In that jail police, they will say, they come to some place where they are kept, no, roadies are kept. Today we are giving him to your hands. Don't kill him at all. But we can use all sorts of violence. Show all sorts of cruelty. He is a rapist. During my stay, I stayed in the jail for not more than 5-6 months. Even during that stay, I think I worked upon not less than 11 to 12 years. During that time, rape never used to be publicized like this. There is only one area. Otherwise, all the, especially criminals who committed murder, half murder, or rowdyism, most of the times they want to be extra good. I know that it is out of circumstances like me, but they are not well read in literature or arts. They are not educated, so they are not able to express themselves. Otherwise, I have met the best boys there. Even today, I feel, even my opponents, even Murtaprai who tried to finish me off, he was better than many other human beings I met in life. Though we were enemies, I know all the best qualities in him. I am not glorifying them. Definitely not. And by glorifying them, I am not going to achieve anything at this stage in my life. They are all victims of circumstances. They are not born with it. They are made. I want to know.
I entirely agree with Mr. Sreedhar. No person is born a criminal. Circumstances make him a criminal. It's only whatever may be the circumstance. Even when he spoke about the offense of rape, it happened because of that particular moment, probably a person doesn't even know. In Nirbhaya case which happened 7 years ago, nobody knew that this girl along with her boyfriend would enter the bus at that time. It just happened. Maybe it's only the circumstances that make a person take up crime, and the opportunity the society gives to him, that probably makes him to try something. So no person is born a criminal.
Okay, so before we open the floor for discussion, some years. Okay, just finish on this. So I watched a very interesting documentary where there is this. They were looking at the brain functions of psychopaths, and one of the interesting things that they said is all of us have murderous impulses at times, but very often we don't carry. Not very often, very rarely do any of us carry it out. Because what happens is there's like a synapse that happens between impulse and action. Now in psychopaths, I'm not talking about the criminal world, I'm talking of the insane, the murderous insane world. The synapse doesn't happen, which is why the thought becomes action. So, I mean, it's very reassuring for me to hear from both Mr. Sreedhar and Dr. Guru Prasad that criminals are made and are not born. So absolutely there are no excuse for criminals anywhere, whether they are disguised as politicians or whatever. So, Pratibha, whatever.
No, Anita, you have written crime novels. Until I have learnt a lot after I met Mr. Sreedhar. So we have a different kind of attitude, idea, or knowledge, or understanding of crime world when we are out of it. For both Mr. Sreedhar and Mr. Guru Prasad, they are actually the police and the underworld. They always stay together. It's not that when you write or when you wrote this crime novel, how did you see that?
You're talking about the relationship between.
When you write.
Okay, how? Okay.
Understanding of crime.
So I think one of the things as a writer of fiction, and pure fiction at that, is this ability to become that character when I'm writing. So I understand, and I completely, when I say I understand, it's not based on experience, but it's based on being able to kind of get into the skin of the character. I know how a criminal thinks, and I also know how a policeman or a policewoman thinks. I can't give you any scientific rationale. I can't give you reasons to explain how I do it, but I know I do it. It always makes me wonder myself, and to add to it all, I have a very lovely old doctor who tells me that if you're writing crime, you must have the mind of a criminal, so on that very happy note, please ask Mr. Sreedhar any questions you have about his writing.
I want to tell her about this. So somebody told her, if you want to write about a criminal, you should have the mind of a criminal. And I want to tell the writer, it's a fact. Because my brain, or anybody's brain, is not ordinary. It has got all the deposits of everything that happened in the history. Anybody's brain. That's why some of the writers who never even hurt a mouse, they become such great writers in criminal novels and criminal works. And when you look at Anita, you don't know, she has created such characters. One character is the Radha. And one thing I liked about her, she says language without any sounds. That is really remarkable. The lady says, the lady goes for it. Language without sounds. See, we come across so many things in life. I know one lady who I respect and who is close to our life and families. I asked her, to bring her children. Anita ji, she can be a great character for any novel. Because I may bring out that character also. I ask her to introduce me, her children. Bring her children. I want to see them. They are studying in, say, medical or engineering. But always the lady says, they are occupied now. Occupied in the colleges. They are in colleges. Not now, at some point. Ask the lady to get me angels. She brings out angels as if they are in their, bag. So I asked her, how can this be, ma? How is it possible? No, close your eyes. Yeah, I closed. Think it. Think that Michael is here. Okay. Merlin is here. Joffrey is here. I said, when I opened the eyes, no, it is same. Close the eyes again. The thing is, the lady has faith in that. I don't have the faith. The faith, it surpasses knowledge. It's not just a blind belief. She has the faith. I understand one thing. When she is telling me close the eyes, think it, I feel so happy. So this is the word. And there is another person who invested 10,000 rupees in bitcoins. Now he is worth 500 crores. In 2010, he was insisting that I should invest 1 lakh. Per one coin, it was 1 rupee. I laughed at it. Can I purchase coffee from it? Can I purchase 1 t-shirt from it? No. Today, each coin is worth 5 lakhs. Why I am saying all these things? Fantasy is there in our lives only. The only thing is we don't have the eyes. So just because while creating a character, Anita thinks like a criminal does not make her a criminal. So,
question.
Sir, I have a question for you, Sreedhar. The thing is that, we get disturbed with our law is very sluggish, and the democracy is not really suitable sometimes, I would think, I think. And at occasions like this, when the crime happens in front of you, you're not the judge actually. And there could be other things. Kandige kanaddu irutte anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹಾಗೆ I have seen many occasions when for a small theft a guy is beaten into death in villages, in small places. Should we take law into our hands, or what is your answer, sir?
You said one thing which you should not even imagine. You should not, even in dream. Is democracy not suitable for us? Lots of people think like that, talk like that. They are wrong. If there is no democracy, even to sit like this and write a book like this, is it possible? I should have to take permission from the authorities. We can say anything. I can call Rahul Gandhi an idiot. I can call our Prime Minister a scoundrel, he is taking some wrong decisions. Can you do it? Democracy makes me and you equal. Taking law into our hands, we are not law-abiding creatures. That's why we have laws. Rules and regulation laws are there because we are not law-abiding. Because language gives us so much freedom. It can make Anita write about a criminal. It can make Sreedhar write about a saint. Because language is very, very deep, very, very vast. So never think like that. It is wrong. We should create a society where the people will not take law into their hands. By killing somebody, something, they are not taking law into their hands. We always use it, even in TVs. They always say, the rioters start taking law into their hands. What do they mean by that? Did law ever say throw stones at people? No, it is not like taking law. We are emotional, instinctive. Because of that, we lose, especially in a group, we lose our thinking capability. That's why we behave like that. But we should not think, we should not criticize the democracy for that. Let us create a more democratic society. Okay?
Absolutely. I entirely agree with Mr. Sreedhar. Naturally, I would answer the same way. Being a policeman, I always say that even policemen should not take law into their own hands. In the light of what happened in Hyderabad recently, I feel that such things should not happen.
You should write about it, sir.
Yeah, I have already written. I have given my statement to a newspaper saying that what happened in Hyderabad should not have happened. So, whether it's a policeman or a commoner or a politician, whoever it is, we should not, or a writer. No, a writer has a lot of freedom to do what he wants.
Only on paper.
Only on paper, and not taking law into their own hands. It's wrong.
This is a question to my friend Sreedhar, but this is also to Sri Guru Prasad. You know me, but I'll tell you who I am later. This is, you encounter criminals, you take small petty thieves, criminals, dons, everyone, you take them into custody, you put them in jail. This is okay, this is law. But why does law fail to catch these white-collar criminals and the top people who protect these people and use them for their own benefit? What do you have to say about it?
Because of leaders like you.
I'm sorry.
You are a political leader. So you people don't give a chance to even enforcers.
No,
to catch them.
unfortunately, I'm not.
See, we know IMA who are all involved. You know it. Have you pressurized the police force to catch them? You know who are involved in amnesty? Lots of ordinary people committed suicide. Did you ever taken these people into task, police force?
That's what I'm surprised. The officials should be
you are, like I said, he's
you know, when you find an honest police officer, they find another police officer to file a complaint against that person to trouble him. Mr. Guru Prasad has been the chief of intelligence also. He knows the issues much better than all of us.
See, it always happens. Big fish eating small fish. It always happens. Where there is mind, there is right. It's a way things happen in society, and police is no exception.
What is the solution?
Solution is you make the police system better. In 2006, the Supreme Court gave several rulings how to depoliticalize the police, how to make the police stronger. But till today we have not been able to implement any of the Supreme Court.
Don't you feel today even the Supreme Court is not depoliticized?
That I can't answer.
That's a very long discussion. Anyway, because police come under the legislative system.
So my question comes from my days as a journalist. I am not a practicing journalist these days. So I remember as a crime reporter, I would get very excited when one of my pop contacts would pick me off and say, hey, this has happened, come and take it. So I would always suspect in latter years that there was some motive. Why would I be handed a story? There is something happening. I always wonder also whether I ever got the full picture. So between the pop and former Don, tell us, do you ever give the real picture to the media, or do you use them for your own purposes?
As a Don and as a writer, I want to ask you, Satya Madam, you were a journalist for a long time. Did you ever write, did you ever hunt for true stories? Or stories which befits your paper or your editor? That appalled, did you ever search for a story?
One is so young at that time, and then the whole machinery is there. So you just get, taken in by the glamour, and you feel so important. Oh, so and so called me, and man, I'm going to get a story, and I got my byline. You're only chasing your byline. So,
Everybody is attending that question. It's a very sensitive question. Very sensitive question. Only writers can think of such questions and ask such questions. She is saying, the lady is saying it is super. So I understood. The way she asked, I understood. Okay, you are also interested in torturing people. They are also torturing people. You are also doing many things which is not legal. They are also doing.
They are licensed under.
No, there is one major difference. Which I want to deal in either movies or in future writings. Mainly in movies, so that it can reach all the people. It is very deep. Very deep. Because police officers are here. I know some other officers literally are sitting here. The major difference between underworld and police force is major difference. Underworld is violent. They always decide to end up everything by using a weapon. It could be a gun, bomb, anything. When the issue cannot be resolved, they will go to violence. It may not happen every day, but violence is part of the underworld. Police, it is cruelty. It is not violent. Rarely it is violent. Okay, they kill for rapists, rarely. But they are cruel. And cruelty gags and suffers the society more than violence.
So if there's one thing in your life that you would want to undo, is there something like that? Any one thing?
Any one thing?
Which you would like to undo from the past?
Change.
You like regret doing it?
There are not one thing. There are hundreds of things every day. Sometimes I scold my grandchildren. At night I could not sleep. And my grandchild is out for 5 years. Then I will be thinking it is so hard, so hard, so hard. Till the morning I lose my sleep. So there are several things. If you don't think that you should go back to your life again and again and think about the areas which you shouldn't have done, you are not a human being. As a human being, I should think of it every day. So there are lots. If I make the list, time will not be enough.
One last question, please.
Are you bored? No, where will I get a chance to interact?
Sure.
So the encounter that you had with this person about whom you have written, did it bring out a stigma in you which you previously did not have, which you now have post this encounter? Or if there is a stigma, what kind of stigma did you encounter?
I am not properly understanding your question, young man. See, are you talking about the encounter means mine and Sona?
Yeah, the
Sona
interaction.
Clash. The stigma attached to my personality, my life, or my image, what?
So up until that point, you were a different person. Say if this incident with Sona was somewhat remarkable in your life, not to glorify the word, till then you were one person, and after this interaction with him, did it kind of bring in something that you never experienced before?
See, what happens, whenever you interact with people on a serious note, it impacts your subconscious. It becomes a part of your personality. It will be somewhere, at some corner in your mind. Like I said, his voice, his face, especially his eyes, used to haunt me. Several nights. Only after writing that in Kannada, almost I came out. Still sometimes I think about it.
If given a chance, how would you have dealt with that situation any differently?
I had to go back in time travel.
Yeah.
Time travel.
Yeah. If
same situation happens.
Yeah.
Same situation, same players, same
It's a loop.
incidents. No, it will happen in the same way.
Loop. Okay.
I will not have the freedom at all.
Hello, sir. My question is to you, sir. Sreedhar, sir.
The book reminds me of Albert Camus' The Stranger. And I've seen that you said he can be a prophet for this century. So can you elaborate on that? I wanted to know your views on Albert Camus' thinking.
I don't think this is the proper this way to talk about Camus. If I was not talking about Camus, I need hours and hours.
Sir, I would want you to talk.
You read it. You read it. He's a great writer, great humanist, and a great prophet. He shaped our culture in 40s, 50s to almost 90s. Now other writers are coming up, but he was great humanist. He faced death squad. During that time, Second World War took place. Even when the Germans were on the upper hand, he was talking to Germans. Even they won against the Germans, he was talking to German students. He considered them as his equals in every way. During the time of oppression, oppressed, both the times he behaved same, and he narrated all these things. After reading Camus, you will not remain what you are today.
Right.
And again you have to go back to it. Even today when my mind is totally disturbed, violent streak starts coming out, I just read his essays.
Sir, one more question follow. Do we have Kannada translations of Albert Camus?
Of course, there are. One Shankar has done. There are, especially that Anya, Outsider. It was done a good translation.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, I'm sure there are many people like me who doesn't. There are many people like me who doesn't read book at all. So my question is, can you be?
You are missing a lot. You are missing a lot, young lady.
No.
But today, see, you are young. You are not a old woman. So start reading from today.
I am old woman. Well, my question is, can you read that for me? Like, can you be a reader for many people like me? Like, can you come up with audiobook?
Audiobook? Yes. In fact, today I told you, the same team told me about the podcast. I did not so. They told me they will pay handsomely also. More than our publishers. Next time they say you have become a celebrity, ask more. So I am talking in front of everyone. So I will, even I will talk about Camus. Probably given a chance I will read his book. Because while reading, it's not only for the youngsters, for me also.
Sir, good evening. I'm Lokesh here. From studious student, IAS aspirant, activist, don, writer, author. What next? What next? We expect a lot from you, sir.
I don't know, Mr. Lokesh. I don't know. I'm open to the world. I don't know what will happen, what will the universe make out of me. Because I always believe that we are all part of the universe, and the universe decides, and only we are players, we are acting out our roles. I mean, if you go deeper into it. So right now I'm thinking of making this Netflix, writing other book which is totally out of this, totally unconnected to the underworld. Though one character will be connected, otherwise it will be totally unconnected, it will be such of a different dimension, different order.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. My question is, you don't encourage youngsters getting into rowdyism nowadays. So, in this world where everyone is going in the wrong path, how do we protect ourselves?
How do you protect ourselves?
The youngsters. How do we protect ourselves?
See, it is the family concept should be strengthened. The family concept where the parents should properly guide them at a young age. This rape cannot be stopped by law. You just announce that the moment we get the information, we will shoot him, then also it will be there. But only societies can do. So it starts with this one. And to youngsters, we are speaking, we will go on speaking, and at the same time, young lady, let me tell you, the world will not go to its doom. It will go on becoming better.
I was misunderstood on that police issue. What I meant was...
No, again we don't have to go there. you are political leaders, you come to this one,
what
you
I
take
meant
the
was,
position.
there is a thin red line, if you have read that book also. Police are there to protect the law and criminals are there to break the law. The thin red line is the issue. Okay, and I want to ask one thing. After all your experience in life, what is your message to the youth who are looking up to you and to Mr. Guru Prasad? What is your message to them? What you want them to be? How do you want them to live? Because I know you have seen the world much better than many of us here. You have seen the plus and the minus. Guru Prasad sir has also seen, I think he has seen great things he has done in his life as a police officer. I have personally seen him. He has been able to modify a lot of things. He brought a lot of reforms. So what is your message to the youth? Because we are all old. Yes, our time has ended. But what is a message you can give to the youngsters, to the youth? That's my request.
Don't have meanness in your hearts. That is the main thing. Don't have cruelty in your heart. It will not take you anywhere. Try to develop as far as possible, good habits. And always understand that all this glory, all this materials, cars, everything will wash out in no time. But what you keep here inside you will be there forever. That is the message I want to tell them again and again and again. Of course, reading books, to go on conquering the knowledge. Knowledge is everything. I am not saying as a cliche. Knowledge is everything. I survived in that cruel world of underworld because of knowledge. I converted many boys because of knowledge. And everybody without fail, they appreciated me because of my knowledge. Whosoever it is, I was associated with. Thank you. Tell me. You want to
There's one question.
Last question. You want to ask?
Yeah.
So I just want to find out if you're going to get into politics.
Huh?
Politics?
Will you get it? No, I will not.
Should you get it into?
No, I will not come into politics. Last question.
Okay, you said you were into underworld. You were in underworld for many years, and every day you faced death. Right?
Yeah.
What was the role of your family in your mind when you faced death every day?
Probably it was. It was too much for them. That's all I can say.
No, what were you thinking about the family? Not
for the sake of family only I wanted to come out. I did not enjoy my stay in the underworld. I did not develop any character in the underworld because of the family. If the family was not there, probably I would have been sitting in Singapore or somewhere, Dubai or somewhere like that. I would have enjoyed. I don't know. That choice was not there.
We have to close, but Mr. Sreedhar will be here to sign books and you can of course talk to him. So you can talk to the person. We have to close. I'm really sorry. So thank you very much. Special thanks to the panelists for coming here. I think I can safely assume that we had a wonderfully enriching discussion. I don't think I've seen something like this before. So thank you Dr. Guru Prasad, Agni sir, Anita ma'am, Pratibha ma'am. Thank you so much for coming here and making it a wonderful evening of discussion about life and literature. Thank you so much everybody. Books are available and he's here to sign. The book counter. 250 rupees is the price of the book. Books are available on the counter and so that we get to sign the books.
Books are sold there.
What's your name?
One more
छोड़ो मैं कर रही
ನಾಳೆಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಓಪನ್ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರ್ಬೇಕಂತ. फारूक, पूरा नाम बोलोगे? मोहम्मद इब्राहिम फारूक. ನಾನೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಫೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ
ವಿಡಿಯೋ
ನೋಡ್ರೆ
ದಿಶಾ
Shah.
ಅದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ ಏನು ಬಂದು ಸರ್ 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 ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮತ್ತೆ
ಮರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು ಮರ್ತಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನಾನು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ
ಭೂಷಣ ಅಣ್ಣ ಕಿಶನ್ ಫೋನ್ ರೋಷನ್ ಅಣ್ಣ
Your demand. I